Hello there. Okay, so obviously, as many of you guys know, the stock market went to the absolute freaking moon. The S&P 500 ended the day up 9%. Do you understand how insane of a day that is for the index to go up 9%? Not only was the index up 9%, you had several stocks that were up 20 to 22%. You had stocks that were up 17%, stuff that was up 15%. The market just absolutely roared. It was insane. The NASDAQ itself, I'm looking at it right here, was up 12% in one day. Now, some of you guys might remember I posted a video. I don't remember how long ago, a few days ago, I guess, however long it's been. But my latest video, my last video, I basically titled it something like Buy the Dip and Don't Stop. And what I'm trying to continue to preach is, number one, I've seen this movie so many times, it doesn't faze me anymore. I'm used to it. Volatility in the market does not bother me. Whenever stocks go down tremendously and I'm down huge, it never ever bothers me because my ultimate philosophy, and I have literally decades of history to prove me right, bulls always make money in the long term more than bears. Bears will have their little moments when the market goes down or when something happens where they make their money. But over the long term, if you just buy good companies, if you just buy good businesses, if you just buy good stocks, and you don't worry about the day-to-day fluctuations or the macroeconomics or Trump's going to do this or this person's going to do this, you will make money. So what happened was you had a bunch of people, and it's so funny how every time this happens, every time there's a bear market, which the S&P 500 was very, very close to a bear market. I think it briefly touched bear market territory. Every time that happens, all these people who are not sophisticated investors, they're not geniuses, all of a sudden everybody turns into a macroeconomics expert. And you had crazy people all over social media who were saying the biggest crash in the world is coming. The S&P 500 is going to go back to 3,000, just saying dumb stuff. And while they were making all these stupid predictions, the S&P 500 is going to drop another 20% from here. Trump's tariffs is going to kill us. We're going to go into a deep, awful recession, blah, blah. While they kept saying all that stuff and retreating the cash and pulling all their money out of stocks and doing all that stuff, I kept buying. I never stopped buying because my strategy is very simple. And I think my strategy beats everybody's strategy unless you're some sophisticated genius. If you're like some stock market genius, which very few people are, then sure, you can study the macroeconomics and follow all that and make money. But I think my way works the best. And my way is very simple. I don't give a crap what the market's doing. I don't care if it's up. I don't care if it's down. Every single paycheck, I put money into stocks. It's that simple. I get paid every 2 weeks. I put X amount of money into stocks. That's how I roll. I've been doing this for years now. I've done really well for myself in the stock market by doing this. I don't try to time the bottom. I don't try to study the macroeconomics and the charts to figure out what's going to happen. And so my point is, let today be a lesson. All those people who retreated and went completely to cash because they let this stuff scare them when they don't even know anything about it, they lost a lot of money. They missed out on an insane amount of gains. I made so much money in one day. I am smiling like you wouldn't believe. I'm so happy. I am up huge just off this one freaking day. That's how crazy this market rally was. Okay? And so the bottom line is, let this be a lesson because I've seen this so many times, most notably in 2022. 2022 was the same thing. Everybody said the world's over, everybody's going to die, the aliens and the dinosaurs are coming to kill us, and your stocks are going to crash forever, and the S&P 500 is going to go to zero, and just crazy. People were just making these outlandish, ridiculous claims, and a lot of people missed out on huge opportunities. Whenever the market crashes like this or has a huge correction like this, it is always historically been a buying opportunity But what happens is people's psychology kicks in. Every single time the market drops like this, people are too scared to buy because everybody else is fearful and they're too busy looking at stupid social media and listening to people who don't know what the flip they're talking about, and they miss out every single time. Going to cash in times like this is stupid as hell unless you're a sophisticated investor and you know what you're doing. You should never, ever do that. Now, if you want to hold a little bit more cash, you could do that. I did that. When the market went down this much, I said, okay, I'm going to hold a little bit more cash this time, just a little bit. But overall, I'm still going to remain mostly invested. If you're one of those crazy people who went 100% in cash and pulled all your money out the market, you got played. The joke's on you. You lost out on a lot of money. And then the same scenario always plays out. I have no idea if we're going to go down or up from here. But what's going to happen is after this huge rally, everybody's going to get FOMO. All those macroeconomic experts all of a sudden are going to buy stocks at the top. And then we're probably going to go down again. Something's probably going to happen. And we might go down again. And then the same cycle will happen. The bottom line is, folks, don't be that person. Dollar cost average. Ignore the noise. If you see good companies that are down huge, like Microsoft, like Google, like Nvidia, companies like that are printing money, chances are if you buy it on a huge downturn, as long as nothing changed with them fundamentally, you'll be just fine. And here's my problem. If you're sophisticated enough where you're like, hey, I'm selling this stock because Trump's tariffs are going to directly affect the business, then I understand that. But the problem is you had people selling stocks that weren't even affected by Trump's tariffs. You're just selling because you're just fearful because everybody else is selling. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you're doing. But the problem with not knowing what you're doing is when you're super vocal and you just sound stupid when you should just be investing. So bottom line, folks, stay invested. Don't ever let what's happening in the world scare you. Even Warren Buffett famously said, I have no idea what the market's going to do. I just buy good companies. That is the way that you should invest. That is the best thing that you can do. Okay? All right. I just had to get that off my chest. Wanted to say that. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments as always. Don't worry. I know you will. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.